push up from the top. We're gonna be. We're gonna be.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Samantha. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. We would love to have you in the fam. And if you're not new, welcome back to the channel. You guys know we're all about vlogs, music related videos. Today we're going to be doing a tag question video on the Bay City Rollers. So this is basically called the Bay City Rollers tag. And it's going to be a few questions just talking about the rollers. So it's going to be kind of different from when I talk about their music in general and also the rankings of albums. So without further ado, let's go. Okay, so there is, let's see, I'm guessing about 10 questions or so on this tag. So we're going to start with the very first one. First Roller Mania moment. So, when did you first discover the Bay City Rollers and what song pulled you in? Okay, so this was a long time ago. I believe it was 2015. I think I've told the story once or twice, and it was, I believe I Only Want to Be With You was one of the very first songs I ever heard. I remember a few songs at the beginning though, so it's like a few different songs that did pull me in. It was kind of like I heard one, got pulled in. So thanks to my mama, got me pulled into the Bay City Rollers. Let's see, the song that made you a fan, the song that made you a fan. Which track officially turned you into a Rollers fan? I want to say pretty much all of them because I feel like let's say the It's a Game album, because the It's a Game album was the one that I very first dived deep into, and it was my very first Rollers album purchase, and basically all the songs on that album became instantly my favorite. However, as time has gone on, I feel like it's really, like, it differs every single time I turn around. Like, I always seem to be into It's a Game album, so like, you know, Love Fever, It's a Game itself, and just all those songs on there, and then Inside a Broken Dream as well. I really do love the more sentimental songs, and then of course, Don't Let the Music Die. I feel like a lot of the iconic tracks do come off of the It's a Game album, so it's kind of like one of those moments that's like, okay, I kind of like every single song, but you know, if you've been here, you kind of know the whole rundown of everything that I've talked about. So, yes ma'am, or yes sure. Okay, so the ultimate anthem. If you had to pick only one Bay City Roller song that represents them perfectly, what would it be? Okay, I'm going to do two. I'm going to do one that's Less Edition and one that's Duncan Edition. So for the less one, I would absolutely say Don't Let the Music Die, simply because of the fact that it represents them as a whole and the fact that their music will never, ever go away. It continues to pass through a bunch of different generations. His vocals on that tracking, and just the whole song is just like perfect. And of course, like, I know it's not the rock and roller vibe that they always went for and like the more rock vibe, but it's more sentimental, and I feel like that is kind of who they was a sentimental, more rock group. So I feel like that's perfect. For Duncan's, oof, that is so hard. Okay, let's just go with Elevator, because I feel like Elevator was one of the very first songs that really kind of tied the Duncan era all in. And I do feel like it's one of the more iconic Duncan songs just because of the fact that it's kind of one of the ones that everyone remembers. So we'll go with those songs for the representation of them perfectly. Dance floor classic. Which song instantly makes you want to get up and dance? All of them. However, Love Fever makes me want to put on leather pants and dance. Yes, I just said that. Anyways, I don't know. I think back to the whole live concert of when Love Fever was performed live. Yes, absolutely love that. So definitely Love Fever, but also, of course, you know, the other ones like Wouldn't You Like It, you know, Rock and Roller. Rock and Roller always gets you up and wanting to dance. So I feel like that's another good classic one to get you on the dance floor. If you're not more leather pants vibed, but we'll see. Softest song moment, softest song moment. I'm like reading these, like, it says like there's a category and then there's the song question, so please forgive me. Which roller song gives you the most emotional or nostalgic vibes? Okay. Don't Let the Music Die, everyone knows, makes you very emotional, but also Inside a Broken Dream is a very emotional song as well. However, like a love emotion, it would be The Way I Feel Tonight. I love it. I love it so much. I absolutely love the live version of it because in one of the lyrics, Les changes, he's like, God, I love you. And I don't know, I love it. Let's see, favorite era of the band. Do you prefer the early Tartan Mania era or their later music evolution? I don't think I could pick between those just because if it wasn't for the beginning with the Tartan in the early days, they wouldn't have had the later representation they had of themselves. So I feel like all the small moments ended up adding up to the later moments of like the 75 to 77 era, from like the 73, 74 start out era, 75 to 77 peak era. I feel like it all just kind of adds in together. So I feel like without one, the other wouldn't be possible. So I really couldn't pick. Let's see. Favorite member. Who is your favorite and why? This is hard. I have Duncan and Alan on my wall. I have plenty of pictures of Eric. I Duncan, of course, but for the rest of them, it's kind of hard. Whenever it all first started, I always was talking about Eric. I've also talked about Alan plenty of times, and Les, and it's just kind of hard for me to pick, but I want you guys to guess in the comments. Just leave me a guess and tell me. Song you think is underrated. So which Bay City Roller song deserves way more love? Most iconic are... Okay, I just read 2 questions together, my bad. Okay, the most underrated song of the Bay City Rollers. This one's hard. This one is very hard. There's a lot. However, I feel like every single song on the Strangers in the Wind album is very underrated. That album is amazing. It is literally an iconic piece of history. So definitely all the songs on the Strangers in the Wind album. Absolutely wish that album would get more love than it is. It deserves so much love. Absolute work of perfection. So there's that. And of course, there's different Duncan tracks as well from that era of time with Duncan that deserve a lot more love. So that is definitely something. Moving on. So the next song question is, let's see, what do you think is their most legendary track? The one everyone should know, such as Saturday Night, is the example in this question list. Okay, I don't really know if we want to say it's legendary, but like I was talking about the Strangers in the Wind album being the most underrated songs, I would say Strangers in the Wind is one iconic track. Even though it's not like every single person knows it, but I feel like everyone should know it. So Strangers in the Wind is definitely my legendary track because I've listened to it so many times. Also Rock and Roll Honeymoon, which is the more, if you want to go with a more popular one, Rock and Roll Honeymoon. I don't really want to say Saturday Night just because I feel like everyone talks about Saturday Night. And I mean, that's already proven to be a legendary track. So definitely Rock and Roll Honeymoon, Alan, of course, his lead vocals, or Strangers in the Wind with Les, just because those are my 2 faves on different eras of time. And then, of course, if we were talking about like a Eric-related song, it would be Playing in a Rock and Roll Band. Those are mine. That's my opinion. Maybe I'm not answering this question correctly, but I really do not care. Let's see. Roller Mania fashion moment. Would you rock the tartan scarves and plaid trousers today? Absolutely. I have been getting more clothes related to the Bay City Rollers fashion. In 2024, I absolutely invested in a few plaid/tartan things. I know plaid and tartan are not the exact same thing, but some of the things I was able to find were more plaid than tartan. But I personally love the whole style of the tartan vibe. I have some pants that are tartan that look like Woody style. I bought some jeans that have some red tartan on them. I have some jeans that I put together with the help of my sister that is roller related. Honestly, just loving the entirety of the tartan fashion. I feel like you can't go wrong with it no matter what the color is. Be honest. What song would you introduce a new fan to if someone had never heard of the Bay City Rollers before? What is the first song you'd play? Okay, this is hard. A lot of thought going into this one. Definitely something off of It's a Game, probably, like I said, because that album I feel like is the one that gets a lot of people hooked. If it's something that you got hooked on, let me know in the comments what was the first album that you got hooked on from the Bay City Rollers. But definitely something off of that album just because I feel like it's something that would definitely tie in new people to the rollers fandom and everything else. That is just something that I feel like would be the peak. And then, of course, if I was trying to introduce them to the Duncan era, I would definitely do I Was 11. Or Life on the Radio. Those are my favorite picks. Okay. Dream concert set list. Pick 5 Bay City Rollers you'd want in your dream live set list. So, okay. Okay. Let's do a Les version and let's do a Duncan version. So for Les, Don't Let the Music Die, Love Fever, Strangers in the Wind, Rock and Roller. That fifth song. Oh my gosh. Okay, actually, let's add Alan into there. We'll have Alan as fifth one, Rock and Roll Honeymoon. On here, on this side, for Duncan's era, it would be I Was 11, Turn on the Radio, Playing in a Rock and Roll Band. I'm trying so hard to pick right now. This is so hard. Life on the Radio. And then we'll throw Roxy Lady in from Eric. Those are my 2 hands. Super random. Absolutely probably would change if you asked me in like a week. It'll probably change, but you know. Nostalgia check. Does their music feel like you were in the 70s? Yes, it does. It definitely does make me feel like I'm in the 70s. I really sometimes feel like I belong in the 70s just because everything I've ever loved is either 70s or 80s related, sometimes 90s related, so it's kind of like, yes, I absolutely feel like I belong in the 70s. What kind of scene pops into your head from that? I have watched so many of the live concerts of the Rollers that I feel like all of those just kind of like mixed together in my head. So something along those lines would be the scene that pops into my head. Cover challenge. If a modern artist covered a Bay City Rollers song, who would you want it to be? I feel like if it was like a more sentimental song like Strangers in the Wind, I would absolutely love Il Volo to sing it. There is a few smaller artists that are out there that I know that I feel like would do really, really well with the songs. Let's see. I feel like I don't know too many pop artists nowadays, so it's kind of hard for me to answer that question. But I feel like Il Volo would do something really, really good with one of their songs, or I really wish if One Direction was together, and like, of course, everything that happened with One Direction never happened. I feel like that would be a very iconic thing. Spencer Sutherland would actually be really, really cool. Spencer Sutherland would definitely be cool for one of the more rock vibes, just because of the fact of his music scene and the way Spencer portrays himself would absolutely connect us to the vibes of, you know, the Les vibes or the Duncan vibes, and I feel like it would all be amazing. But that is the last question in this tag. Okay, guys, with that being said, I hope you guys did enjoy this tag question. I know it was super random and I kind of rambled on through some of my answers, but I feel like a lot of these questions definitely made me think a little bit deeper about the Bay City Rollers, whether it be the Duncan era, Les era, everything along those lines. So if you guys want to see more videos of me answering questions related to artists like this one, or maybe you want me to do a Duncan edition completely, I can totally do that, or like a Les McCowan solo artist question tag or something. Let me know in the comments, but also I can also do other artists, so also if you want to see that, let me know as well. But with that being said, guys, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, turn up notifications to the network so you never miss a future upload, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!